To put you looking at Cuenca, don't let them give it to you with cheese and the gardener's dog. He won't eat and he won't let you eat. See, there's a whole bunch of bizarre expressions in Spanish that Yoli uses all the time, and over the 15 years of our relationship, 15 years, a wonderful 15 years, I've kind of fallen in love with them. And so we want to share some of them with you today.
Like in any culture, these expressions, they don't literally mean anything, but they do have a meaning in our culture, in Spanish culture. And so today we want to share with you these 13 wonderful, weird expressions that are going to make you sound like a local, just like me.
And so even if you're not learning Spanish, these are a great way to kind of understand the culture. Each one has some interesting cultural aspects behind it. We're going to count down from 13 to 1. Number 1 is kind of sexual and kind of weird and kind of bizarre, but hey, they're all a bit like that. And of course, there's equivalents in English here. So, all right, venga, let's go. Is that an expression? Venga, let's go? Should be.
I think so.
Should be.
I mean, it is our expression anyway.
There you go. Okay, number 13. Yoli, you want to kick off with this one?
Sure. Number 13.
You love cheese.
There you go. Is que no te la den con queso. Don't let them give it to you with cheese. So, I mean, what the hell is that?
Don't let them give it to you with cheese. So, I mean, this really means like...
Is that sexual?
Not yet. That's most of them are. None of them are. So, don't let them trick you, right? That's what it means. But why cheese? Why cheese? So, the saying goes is that if you were a winemaker back in the day in Spain and the wine buyer came to buy your wine, if your wine was a bit rough and maybe there was a bit of a shoddy vintage going on, you would serve them cheese as they tasted the wine because the cheese would be kind of funky and strong and would kind of coat their palate and hide the inadequacy of the wine. So you'll often say in Spanish, que no te la den con queso, like don't let them trick you. And it doesn't even have to be about wine or cheese, obviously it can be about anything, right? Do you use that one a lot?
Sometimes you've heard it probably.
I've heard it.
Que no te la den con queso, Jaimito.
All right, number 12, moving along. Okay, number 12 is mine, de perdidos al río.
What do you mean yours?
Yeah, well, I didn't, it's not like venga, let's go. I mean, it's kind of catching on. But,
like you didn't make it up.
Yeah, and it means from lost to the river. I really like this one. I actually thought for a while it'd be great to write a film script or a novel and the title is From Lost to the River.
Catchy.
Very catchy. So what does that mean, Yoli? From lost to the river, de perdidos al río.
So I think we need to go back to medieval times even.
Let's go there.
So time of a battle, there is a way to make your enemy lose, right? The battle, and that's like to back them up against the river, right? So the enemy is there and they have two options. If they don't want to die, they just jump in the river, but they're going to lose the battle. Or they just say, hey,
they could die either way, right?
Well,
so like jump in the river or...
depending on how generous the other enemy is, they're gonna pardon them or not. And so it actually means that in a hard situation, you go for what seems the craziest solution, but that actually may fix things.
So it's a bit like maybe in English we would say, you got nothing to lose, right?
Yeah, as well. Yeah.
It's all options are bad, so go nuts. So but in Spanish you use it more like take the crazy one, right? Let's do the crazy option.
Yeah, exactly. Like de perdidos al río,
there we
for
go.
example.
There, you
you
saw it first here. Yeah. In action, language in action. All right, let's move to the next one. Okay, number 11, Yoli, I believe this is yours.
It is. Hasta el 40 de mayo, no te quites el sayo. So that literally is until the 40th of May, don't take your cloak off.
It's a confusing one, and I've always loved this one, these like weather ones, because I found it kind of magical, the notion of the 40th of May. What is that? But effectively it means that it can still be cool in June in Spain when you expect it to be warm. Like I mean, today is as you say, the 50th. It's the 20. What is today?
22nd, I think.
22nd of June, and it's cool.
Here we are. It's kind of cool.
I've always thought this was fascinating because, like the 40th of May, it's almost like it's this magical date. Like that Dr. Seuss. What is that month that Dr. Seuss invented? And so everything wonderful happens there. So I thought it was more about that you never take off your sayo, never take off your shawl because 40th of May never happens. But it's not that. It's more about it being the 10th of June, right?
Exactly.
Well, we have a few more weather ones coming up. All right, let's skip to the next one. Okay, number 10 is my one. En agosto, frío en el rostro.
Ole, de verdad.
Do you know the little there? In August, cold, it's cold on your face or cold on your face, right?
Go on your face.
Bad translation.
Very bad.
And what does this mean, Yoli?
So traditionally, we've always thought that actually August was like a really hot month, the hottest.
Yeah.
But it actually isn't.
It is true that August is when the temperature, July is more stable and hotter, and August it starts to become unstable.
Yeah, exactly.
En agosto, frío en el rostro.
Ole,
I said that badly, but anyway. Let's move along.
Very badly.
Let's move along.
Next one, number something.
Number 9.
Number 9. En febrero busca la sombra el perro. So, in February, the dog looks for the shade. So what does that mean, you think?
I think it's the inverse of en agosto, frío en el rostro. So in this one, the idea is that in February, you expect it to be cold, but there's going to be the odd day where the dog is going to look for the shade because suddenly it'll be like, hot. Oh my God, it's going to get hot, you know? All right, moving away from weather now, right? Should we move on?
Yes. Next one.
Okay, number 8. En casa de herrero.
Del herrero.
Ay. En casa del herrero. Wow, now I've lost all my confidence. All right, beep. Okay, number 8. En casa del herrero, cuchillo de palo.
Eso
This
es.
hand thing I've got going on.
La gata.
So what that means is in the blacksmith's house, there is a wooden spoon, or the spoons are made of wood, right? And so what does this mean?
So, skilled people usually won't show their trade at home, right? So my dad, as a carpenter, I have seen him very rarely build pieces of furniture in our house, which is what he did for a living for my whole life and his whole life.
I mean, it kind of makes sense though, right? In the way you want to get away from your job. But
exactly.
I guess, what do we say?
There's an English.
The shoemaker's son wears shoes of wood. No, that's
no,
not it. Let me check.
Goes barefoot or something,
That's
right?
it. Yeah, Yali knows it. The shoemaker's son wears shoes of wood.
I've always been a good student.
The shoemaker's children go barefoot. So yeah, I've never used that much in English. I like the one in Spanish. I feel like we use more.
En casa del herrero, cuchillo de palo.
Nice, lovely.
So...
On that point, on that note, I can't even speak English anymore. Let's move on.
Right, next one is number 7.
Number 7.
Donde hay confianza da asco, or la confianza da asco.
I like this
one. I mean, trust.
Well, we'd say in English, familiarity breeds contempt.
Right.
But I don't feel like we use that much in English. Personally, I don't.
But we need to say. I mean, asco is like disgust.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not
Stronger.
contempt. It's like it's really strong. It's really strong. Like trust is no good.
I feel like it's not contempt. Well, maybe it's contempt, but I've used it more where familiarity has led to someone taking advantage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like that da asco. It's kind of gross, like, you know.
It may have happened to us, like in the business sort of side of things sometimes, like very quickly we have realized that, la confianza da asco there, like someone just took advantage that we were getting familiar and did something that wasn't.
Yeah, you know who you are.
I always said never trust a Spaniard, so.
You don't say that. She doesn't say that. She doesn't mean that. Spaniards are great and very trustworthy.
Come here, move here.
I trust Yoli completely. All right, let's move on. So a lot of people ask me how long it took me to become fluent in Spanish, and I always kind of say, and I feel like a bit of a killjoy saying it, that I'm not fluent. You're only fluent in a language if you really grow up in it, you're born in it, and things like that. So I'm always learning, of course. Now, guys, I've talked about Rosetta Stone before. It's a language learning tool and program that I use, even though I'm living here in Spain with Yoli speaking Spanish. I find it really, really helpful, and they are sponsoring this video. So thank you to them, because what I love about it is Rosetta Stone teaches you how to speak a language and kind of communicate in a language in a really immersive way. It's an immersive way to learn. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Look, there are plenty of apps out there that you can use to learn language, but I've always had a feeling that I'm sort of staying on the surface a little bit, that I'm learning kind of the odd word here and things like that, but I'm not literally learning that if I was traveling to Spain, I could then walk into a shop and communicate, or a bar and communicate. And so, this is where Rosetta Stone really excels. It enables you to actually talk to people. It empowers you to talk to people. So some mornings I sit here on the terrace and I get up my laptop, or they've got it on the smartphone app as well, and I get a cup of coffee and I do a little bit of Rosetta. And so, I'll pick a topic and I'll do a bunch of lessons, and we'll do, you can do grammar, vocab, reading, writing. They've got all the different elements, which I really like. It's very complete in that way. But where it really shines as well is in the fact that you can do speaking And there is actual speech recognition software in the program that works really, really well. And so guys, because you're members of the Spain Revealed community, I've got a special offer that they've allowed me to offer you. And so you can get lifetime access to Rosetta Stone, that's like the rest of your life, for $179. Click the link below if you want to get access to that. It's a special offer just for you guys and for me and Yoli, I guess. So yeah, I really, really think it's a great way to learn a language. And so let's get back to the expressions. We're on to the silver bridge of the enemy.
Silver bridge of the enemy.
All right, next up.
Next one, number what?
Don't know.
Al enemigo, puente de plata. So give your enemy a silver bridge. I love this one. It's so elegant.
So this one really means that, you know, if your enemies want to flee or get away, you know, really facilitate that for them. You know, if you've got an enemy, and I guess you could say like in your personal life, someone you don't like, but if you've got someone who you kind of want to, get rid of in your life, and if they're showing signs of wanting to sort of move away or, you know, kind of move on, allow them, roll out the silver bridge. Should we say it again? Because it's got a certain thing.
Al enemigo, puente de plata.
Al enemigo, puente de plata.
Hasta.
I could use that one. That kind of just rolls, whereas
But you don't have any enemies.
cuchillo de perro, ¿cómo?
Cuchillo de palo.
Cuchillo de perro, herrero en casa.
Casa a la sombra.
A la sombra.
En febrero.
En febrero, sí, con el sayo puesto. Okay, let's move on. So number 5. This is one of my favorites. I really, really love it. Okay, let me see if I can do it on the first go. Tension is killing you. Ser como el perro del hortelano, que ni come ni joder.
Ser como el perro.
¿Qué he dicho?
Ser como el perro. Ser como el perro del hortelano.
Ser como el perro del hortelano. Ser como el perro del hortelano. It's
good.
Yeah. Ser como el perro del hortelano, que ni come ni deja comer.
Dale, de verdad.
I'm leaving now, I'm done.
Yeah. So literally what that means.
So to be like the vegetable gardener's dog, he doesn't eat and he doesn't let you eat.
So you can probably guess what it means. It's someone that won't let you enjoy something and they won't enjoy it themselves either.
Yeah, I love it.
It's wonderful.
It's very, very cool. That is one you have to use, guys.
If you can pronounce it.
Yeah. It's hard. You're not going to be whipping that out at the bar. That's level 5 of 5.
Of 5.
All right, moving along.
All right, number 4. Que no llegue la sangre al río. Don't let blood get to the river.
And there's a couple of blood ones coming up as well, so it's all very Spanish
very
and blood.
Very fiery.
Lots of passion.
So what does that mean?
That means that, you know, don't escalate a situation. You know, don't let the blood get... I don't really know what it means. Like, why not let the blood get to the river? Like, how is blood getting to a river an escalation of a situation?
Well, I guess that there's like more blood flooding, and so it will finally get to the river.
Okay, so it's going to run
it's
down...
escalating in that way. Yeah,
I get it. If you go to a medieval city and it's going down the street, and it's going to get to the riverbanks of the city. So there is another blood one, though. Let's do that. That's number 3. Okay, number 3. I don't know why I'm doing 3. They're very awkward, struggling to get 3 up. So you're good at that. I do 3 like that. So number 3, Tienes sangre de horchata. So the idea is you have blood of horchata. You have horchata blood. So horchata blood.
All we do in this channel is talk about horchata.
And blood. No, we don't talk about blood. We talk about horchata a lot. In the last video, in the last scene, we were drinking horchata.
So what it means, someone that doesn't have a lot of energy. It's describing someone whose blood, whose veins have horchata, something kind of thick and like, you know, not very fluid running through their veins. So yeah, just someone that is kind of passive and not very energetic.
And so horchata, for those, I know a lot of people know what that drink is. It's a drink made here in Spain from Valencia. The Moors brought chufas to Valencia. Chufas in English are called tiger nuts, which, as my brother says, poor tigers. They grind up the tiger nuts.
No,
and then they grind up the chufas and they mix it with a little bit of sugar or not necessarily, and water, and it creates this wonderful, refreshing drink. Moving along. What is number 2, Yali?
Number 2 is tienes un morro que te lo pisas, or tener mucho morro. So your lips are so big that you step on them.
I like this one. So it means that you're someone, it's like you're a cheeky devil. It means that you say or do things without taking into consideration the feelings of others. Would that be fair enough?
Yeah, just kind of cheeky and take advantage of people
Eso.
as well.
But it's not just about things you say, it's about things you do as well.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. And I've used it, you see it more in Spanish with like, que morro tienes. Like,
¿Qué morro tienes?
joder, que morro
You can also
tienes.
say tienes mucha cara, and
That's
we
true.
go like that as well.
Yeah.
¿Qué cara tienes? If you go to Spain, you come to say Madrid and you're like saying something and someone is saying, ¿qué cara tienes? No good. Leave that bar.
Yeah, you screwed up badly somehow. You did the wrong thing. Don't let that happen. All right, moving on to number 1.
Right, so number 1, exciting.
Very excited.
What is it?
Oh, is it me reading it?
Yeah,
To put, hang on, in Spanish.
in Spanish.
Poner a alguien mirando a Cuenca. To put someone looking towards Cuenca.
So, do you want to explain our lovely people?
So literally means like, to put someone looking to Cuenca. Cuenca is a town, a village that is an hour to the east of Madrid.
In Castilla-La Mancha.
We did make a great video there. And actually, when we made that video, in the comments, I remember a few Spanish people made kind of haha hee jokes using like, "Ta puesto Yoli mirando a Cuenca," and you know, Yoli put you looking at Cuenca. Effectively, it means to have sex with someone. Yep, the full kit and caboodle. So if I put Yoli looking to Cuenca, then I Yoli. Yeah, that's what it means.
Lovely.
Is it quite common here?
It is quite common. People will have a joke about it. Yeah.
Poor Cuenca. What if you live in Cuenca? Celibate?
Yeah, I guess that makes you a celibate. Yeah.
That's a pity. Let us know if you live in Cuenca. Are you all celibate?
How's your sex life?
Yeah, exactly. On that note. So guys, click the links that are appearing or the videos are appearing around now if you want to hang out with us more at home and more videos at home. And if you're up for learning lots of languages, a lifetime supply, click the Rosetta Stone link below. And until then,
Hasta
hasta
pronto.
luego.